lot of the Dandy's World community have migrated to a new popping game called Animal Hospital Anomaly, which was created just 1 month ago but has seen a huge player base in just 1 month, which is good news for the video game and good news for the Animal Hospital Anomaly dev team. Animal Hospital Anomaly has enemies similar to Twisted's in Dandy's World, and some of these enemies remind me of some Twisteds from Dandy's World. The first monster we're going to talk about is called Hiders. Hiders' method of attack is to run up to the player and takes item currently in hand or directly attacks the player. Here we can see a Hider attacking the psychologist and stealing an eye drop. I feel like this reminds me of a Twisted in Dandy's World, and that Twisted is called Twisted Gigi. Twisted Gigi has an ability to steal one of your items in your inventory. And for those of you that have played Dandy's World, this is what it looks like when Twisted Gigi steals an item from your inventory, just like a Hider. That is so interesting that these two monsters from these two games have similar abilities. The next monster we're going to talk about is the bed monster. So the bed monster appears in a patient's room, and the method of attack is to grab onto the player or patient that steps into its red box and slowly drags them under the bed. That sounds so creepy. And if you want to see the bed monster in action, here is an intern being dragged by the bed monster as soon as it steps inside the red box, and you have to tap your way out of the struggle and eventually free yourself. That sounds terrifying, but this does remind me of a Twisted from Dandy's World, and that is Twisted Goob. So Twisted Goob will pull any toon in his line of sight. This can however be prevented by staying out of this twisted sight or hiding behind an object as he tries to pull you. And this is what it looks like when Twisted Goob pulls a toon towards him and attacks them. So the bed monster and Twisted Goob share a strong similarity, and that's so interesting. The next monster we're going to talk about in Animal Hospital Anomaly is called Stalker. So this is what the Stalker looks like, and the method of attack is staring at the player until the player makes eye contact. So this is the full body of the Stalker. If you make eye contact with the Stalker, you lose 10 sanity. The Stalker's model kind of reminds me of Twisted Squirm. This is what Twisted Squirm looks like, and if you play Twisted Squirm appears on the ceilings. Getting too close to him will cause him to reach down and grab the player. So when we compare the Stalker's model to Twisted Squirm, if you turn the Stalker's model upside down, they kind of look similar. The next monster in Animal Hospital Anomaly we're going to talk about is the Headbanger. This is what the Headbanger looks like, and the method of attack is bangs head on window and blocks the use of shutters. I was looking at the Headbanger's animation, and it's kind of reminded me of Shrimpo's extraction animation in Dandy's World. Although Shrimpo is not a Twisted, I still find it interesting that there is a similarity between the two animations. The next monster we're going to talk about is the Ghost in Animal Hospital Anomaly. So the method of attack of the Ghost is to float around the building and sneakily approach the player. So this is what the Ghost looks like, and of course you can use the fire extinguisher to reveal the Ghost. And this reminded me of Twisted Connie from Dandy's World. This is what Twisted Connie looks like when possessing a machine and floating around. Twisted Connie is also a ghost. I find it interesting that the Ghost from Animal Hospital Anomaly and Twisted Connie do share a similarity. The next monster we're going to talk about is the Massive Eyes, and this is what the Massive Eyes looks like. Creepy eyes that appear on the ceiling. The method of attack of the Massive Eyes is spawns on the ceiling and waits until the player makes eye contact with it. That sounds so creepy. As you can see, the Massive Eyes spawns on the ceiling, and if the player moves the camera to the ceiling, they will lose some sanity. And the Massive Eyes from Animal Hospital Anomaly reminded me of a Twisted called Twisted Roger in Dandy's World. And this is what Twisted Roger looks like. As you can see, Twisted Roger has one eye, and when Twisted Roger is activated, as you can see, Twisted Roger creates a beam of light that will attack the toon, which reminded me of the Massive Eyes in Animal Hospital Anomaly. Isn't that so cool? Hospital. And the last monster we're going to talk about in Animal Hospital Anomaly is Tendril. So this is what the Tendril looks like, and it appears in the operating room. The method of attack is will randomly spawn from a player during the surgery recovery. The Tendril reminded me of a Twisted in Danny's world called Twisted Sprout. This is what Twisted Sprout looks like. And Twisted Sprout's mechanic is when detecting a toon, Twisted Sprout will leave a deadly tendril under the detected toon, attacking anyone that steps on it for too long. Isn't that fascinating? So this is what it looks like when Twisted Sprout creates a tendril that can attack toons. And here is a toon being attacked by Twisted Sprout's tendril, which is so similar to Animal Hospital's tendril that appears in the surgery room. Animal Hospital has amazing enemies and Anomalies, such a fun and exciting new game that has emerged on Roblox, and so many players are enjoying this new game. And it's nice that players from other games can find similarities in Animal Hospital